have Joel here, who is the manager of House of Asia, one of the top restaurants in Dimapur, and it is located in the heart of Dimapur, right next to City Tower. And we are here to talk about how House of Asia, as one of the biggest restaurants in Nagaland, I should say, is facing the erratic power supply in the commercial hub. Joel, thank you for speaking with us. Can you please explain to us, House of Asia, it is a big place, capacity is huge, and I can see all the equipments as well. How is the power supply been for this restaurant?
Um, yes, it is a big restaurant and we use quite a few appliances inside. The power supply is very erratic at the start, like a couple of months before when we started House of Asia. We faced so many difficulties when it came to electricity because we have karaoke rooms as well in which we use TVs and speakers and microphones. And over a period of 3 to 4 months, because of voltage fluctuation and bad electricity and the power keeps going in and out, even though we have a backup generator, a lot of the MCBs, a lot of the equipment used to crash. I lost a lot of compressors for the under-counter fridges that we have even in the kitchens. Even our lights, the very expensive lights that we used to warm the food, even those started getting spoiled. So in order to cope with that, with such a bad power voltage and the fluctuations, then we had to get in touch with some people from Delhi and then order a very expensive voltage, what you can say, servo or a stabilizer. So yeah, that's an additional expense to us, and then we had to wait till it comes, and then all the equipments had to be purchased again. Things need to be fixed, so that's additional unnecessary costs which comes out of our business. Not only that, and then also it makes life difficult for our customers, also for us, because then instead of focusing on our customers, we need to run around getting things fixed every now and then because of erratic power or bad power. Yeah, so that's one of the problems that we face. Then also to cope up with, sometimes in a day we lose power like 5 to 6 times, get extra batteries, an inverter, which is fine. Okay, we can deal with that short amount of time. But then the ACs, and then to cope with that, we had to even get a genset involved. And it's not that we are not willing to pay for the power. We are, it's a business, and then we would like to function as a proper business and then give our customers the best service we can. So instead of spending the extra amount of money on getting a genset or even the fuel is very expensive. We could rather pay the government. If they give us a consistent supply, you take the same money, because whether it goes like that or like that, the money is going into maintaining the restaurant's electricity. So rather, instead of the money going into fossil fuels that we are wasting, we rather just go for cleaner electricity, which will be better for the government and for the environment also.
Okay, so this is a huge establishment. So I'm sure electricity bill is coming every month. Can you please walk us through what type of bills are you paying? Postpaid bill, is it a meter system? And then, if you don't mind us asking, approximately how much it comes up to, and then exactly do you think it is worth that monthly bill plus spending again another extra, doing all these other fixing and all these things?
Yeah, that's another issue as well. But see, anyway, sometimes ours is a postpaid connection. So during summers or even for at least 8 months of the year, we are paying a good 50, 60, sometimes even 70. That's the amount of money that we are paying for electricity. The amount varies between 40 to 60. But I still feel that if the government is taking these amounts from us for electricity, then the power supply should be consistent. And, I think we deserve a little better electricity than, for such high bills.
Plus it's postpaid, right?
Yes, this is a postpaid connection.
So you pay a particular amount every month?
Yeah, at the end of the month, depending on what the meter shows us, and then the electricity department, they give us a bill and then we clear the bill off. Apart from that, even on generator fuel, like 2 weeks ago, I had 2 or 3 days continuously where my generator was running for at least 7 hours a day because of such bad electricity. So our fuel costs just went really high. We spend anywhere between 50 to 60 plus thousand a month on generator fuel. So that is also additional cost to the business. Yeah, it becomes difficult when you have to pay high bills like that for basic necessities that should have been provided.
As I mean, I can see that you are managing right now the whole problem of electricity. Now, in regard to customers, they're coming in, and then do they also has there been any complaints as such when it in regard to power supply in the restaurant, and then because you could not provide them with a service, maybe?
So far, we've not, like, people are understanding. Since this is Nagaland, I think they are just accustomed to the light not being that regular. So they aren't complaining that much. And even though when we have a problem, then I have a team and we always run and try to get the issue fixed. So I haven't received complaints from the customers, but yes, from our staff and from the people, those, like for example, my staff also living in the quarters, we all cannot afford to give them a generator connection, and sometimes in the night time, even with inconsistent light and bad voltage, the fans run slow, so they don't sleep well, they cannot perform well on duty the next day. It affects team morale and, basic facilities which we should provide, so it affects those as well.
Uninterrupted electricity in Nagaland seems to be a distant dream. Reports have come off time and again about the erratic power supply in Nagaland, and now we're talking about Dimapur, the commercial hub of Dimapur. We have learned to know that many cloud kitchen, home-based online stores and restaurants and other private enterprises and entrepreneurs are facing huge difficulties due to the erratic power supply. As we have just seen, a few of the entrepreneurs have spoken to us, and they have expressed their displeasure and discontentment over this erratic power supply, where it is affecting their business. And another one, the manager of House of Asia has also said that, of course, they cannot provide ACs or the best facilities to their employees, but due to this power supply, at night they cannot sleep. As simple as that. Their morale also gets low, and they have to come back the next morning and then deliver also to the public. Now, the power department, when it comes to the power department, the society and the public, the media is blaming the power department entirely for this problem. And now, but then again, we have to look at where is this problem coming from and where is it being birthed. Nagaland News Network has come to learn that there are 4 sectors in when it comes to the power and the electricity generation. That is distribution, transmission, generation and revenue. And we have been informed that Dimapur is facing a problem in 2 sectors, that is the distribution and revenue, which is no surprise. Dimapur has a maximum demand of 90 megawatt during the summer, but only drawing 51. As the demand keeps increasing every summer, the revenue also decreases. We were told of this. And what many at the power department have also said to us and informed us is that there are 3 factors that also affect the generation of electricity, which is load shedding happening at the non-availability of power, which is due to the allocation of money by the government to buy power. Another aspect is the power interruption, like natural disasters or storms, or where a pole gets broken down or there's a line that gets cut. And then another is the plant shutdown due to development activities, which is inevitable if we want development to take place. Right now, Nagaland is shifting to standalone meters, but there has been a little mishap when it comes to this due to the punching in of digits to pay those bills. So now the power department has also come up with smart meter system and is planning to come up with scanners or Bluetooth system where it will be much easier for the consumer. Now we have to also question about the several hydro projects that is present in the state, from the Doyang hydro project to the Likhimro hydro project, and also the Dikhu, the largest project which could actually generate 125 megawatt, including with Doyang, Likhimru and Tiza Zinki, which is 25, 24 and 75 megawatt respectively. Now altogether, Nagaland is supposed to consume only 180 megawatt. If these hydro projects are up to date and working, then we can manage on our own, is what the officials have told us from the power department. Right now we are here with the proprietor of Shiro Roastery, a very popular cafe, I should say, in Dimapur, in the commercial hub, and then this cafe has been picking up and getting great reviews. But one thing that is hampering its growth is also of course, the power supply, the erratic power supply that is hampering a lot of development for the cafe. Rowang, thank you so much. Can you just tell us on a daily basis, what do you face over here in problem-wise problems due to power supply or shortage of power?
Okay, since I was totally new to this industry and totally new to starting my own business, so I had no guidance or tips, should I say. So when I started this place, I started with single phase. I had no idea. Um, then before the like before it even started, I had to buy another phase, second phase, and then after a few months, the electricity was still really, really bad. So I had to get third phase, and I had to pay a lot of money for that. Initially, our customers were so kind to understand the situation. They get it, like the voltage problem and everything. We are still facing the voltage issue. So right now, like that has been the issue since the beginning, the voltage. So the machines will shut down, the ACs will stop working, it will make the room really hot, and my my customers are so kind that they really understand instead of complaining. Some they do, but I totally understand. But and we want to make the place cooler, get like couple of more ACs, but that's all that the electricity can like source, like the voltage could give. So they said that the electrician said that I can't get another AC because my load won't be able to take. Yeah, so
So you do pay electricity bill, of course, and if I may ask, what is your approximate bill, and then how much are you paying as backup? Maybe your generator, UPS, or inverter. I mean, can you give us a little on that experience that you have?
yeah, sure. I my electricity roughly comes to about 15K. That's a lot for a small shop, a coffee shop. And then for electricity, I pay maybe around 40 to 50K in a month for the fuel generator. Yeah. So it's quite tough to be honest, but I have to still like keep going. Yeah.
What else do you think is lacking in terms of the power supply over here, especially for entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs like you, and then who are running cafes, restaurants, or any business for that matter? You know, do you think that the power department has been blamed, but then do you think consumers also on that side because of they're not paying bills?
I would totally agree to that, honestly. I have met people. I was guilty of that myself, like at home. We we don't pay what's due to the government, and then the government is losing so much as well, like in terms of like they're not getting paid for what they're using, sorry, what they're supplying. And I think we should really, it has made me realize that we need to do our part as well, pay the bills on time, pay what's due, and maybe it will help the government because they can only do so much. I mean, they might give their all, but I think we are also part to blame for this situation. So yeah, I would request everyone to like do your duties as a citizen as well. So yeah.
I can see that your cafe has very, nice equipments, and it's a coffee, it's a roastery. So your main focus is coffee, I would say. So, what about utilizing these equipments? Does it take up a lot of energy, electricity to use this, and then the fluctuations? Has it affected any of your machines?
Yeah, three, four of my machines has actually got damaged, even the generator. So the the sum that I earn in a month, it's like I spend about 50% repairing them. I've repaired the AC, I've repaired the espresso machine, the grinders, the inverter as well, and even the generators. It's like it's a non-stop nightmare, you know. It's really tough to be honest to do business in Dimapur. It's like really hard, really really hard. Yeah.
So, Roang, on that note, lastly, do you have anything to say or advise to the people or say to the government?
I would just like to appeal to the leaders that I know you're trying your best in everything that you're doing, but this is a request from all the small business owners, such as me and my father. He is 63 years old, and he can't sit in the office because it's too hot, and then the electricity is not sufficient enough to run the AC in his office. So I feel so bad, and it saddens me as well to see him coming out of the office during lunchtime and then seeing him sweating, and then he says that he can't sit there. So this is an appeal to the leaders that please do what's required, what's beneficial for the citizens, for us. And we don't blame you 100% because we are partially to blame, but I would request you to look into that matter and kindly provide a stable electricity. So that's my request. Yeah.
So as we have just seen from the report that a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of businesses, especially cafes and under the food industry is having a very tough time due to the erratic power supply and the shortage of electricity. And we have also explained what are the challenges the power department might be also facing. And we have raised this question, what could be the solution? Not just these enterprises and entrepreneurs are facing the challenges of this supply of power, but hospitals as well. Nagaland News Network spoke to few reputed hospitals where one of them has said that many of the equipments have been damaged due to the fluctuations of the power supply, especially sensitive machines like ventilators, warmers, echo and dialysis, and also complications and risks during surgery at the operation theater. The consumption of fuel is another aspect that these hospitals have cited, and delay in transaction at the pharmacy, in the billing, and as well as interruptions and delay during several other procedures in the hospital. Another hospital had also informed Nagaland News Network that they are using at least 80 hours to 100 hours a month of the generator, and which amounts to at least 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees a month. Now, these hospitals did not wish to be named, but these are very reputed hospitals in Dimapur, and they are facing issues due to the erratic power supply, and in turn, patients and consumers are getting affected. Now, we are unaware of how much the allocation of funds are for the government of Nagaland under the power department, but at the union budget, at the Central Union Budget 2023, the Ministry of Power had increased 29% to over 160 billion rupees, the highest ever for the ministry. Now, after even revealing this, will there be changes? Will there be any changes in the power department under the state government? And another information that we have also here is that the Power Grid Corporation of India is executing two major intrastate power transmission and distribution schemes, one of which is in Nagaland, the Northeastern Region Power System Improvement Project, or the NERPSIP, for 6 northeastern states, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura, and Nagaland, for strengthening of the intrastate transmission and distribution systems, which will be 33 kV and above, sanctioned at an estimated cost of a whopping 6,700 crore. Now, with all of this and all the schemes coming in and the funding from the central, why is Nagaland still lacking behind in terms of supply and transmission of electricity to its consumers? Esther here with camera person I am for Nagaland News Network.